just to give you a brief example, what we see in a lot of our activities is maybe people have some sort of training or an education session that they're going to give to a set of participants. Maybe they're training their workers, or maybe they're providing an education session to a community. And so that within your program might be one of your main activities. But when you look at it on a deeper level, there's actually several steps that must be completed for this activity to be successful. You have to have people that are aware that this opportunity even exists. They need to be interested in it, or motivated to come. They need to be able to come. They need to be able to have the transportation to reach the center where you're giving the educational activity, or have the time off of their regular job to attend the training. They have to have a training that they understand and that resonates with them. And then finally, they have to be able to act upon whatever skills they've been given. So you look there, and that one activity has been broken down into several steps that we need to make sure each one of those steps is needed for our activity to be successful. And so I think that's a good example of just how you could take even one assumption in your program and think through, all right, what are all of the different things that we're thinking have to work in conjunction to kind of move the participant through to success. And kind of along with this step, it's really valuable just to think about that environment in which your program is operating, that context. What are some barriers that you might encounter? A barrier might be if you're trying to have a vaccination education session. Are there barriers to vaccination within the community? Is there hesitancy that, unless you provide some really compelling reason to come, are people just not going to pay attention and not try to even come to your training? So it's using the available information about the setting that you're working in and just all of those assumptions you have about your activity to break it apart and then think, are there certain areas here that we might need to explore more? Are there things that we don't know that we'll need to know to make the program successful? And that'll help us walk through our later steps. So in this step, we're just kind of breaking apart those assumptions. It's almost like a brainstorming of what are the steps, what could go wrong, what do we know and what do we not know? And that's like a very kind of key step to get our thinking in the right space as we kind of home in on those particular activities we'll do for responsive feedback.